show you around, see what we've got growing in Kinlock's garden. So we'll start over here. This is where I have some herbs. This is some lavender that's trying to make a comeback from last year. I think I don't have it in enough sun, but I've got some oregano, some rosemary, some thyme, and it's just a little bed that Shane made out of some reclaimed wood. Come on in. Here's the garden bed that we just built and got installed. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 cubic feet of soil. And in here I've got all kinds of stuff growing. I've got beets. I know it's late in the season, but I'm in Missouri and our growing season is long, and I hate to put this to no use this year, and I certainly am not going to buy plants from the nursery at $5 a pop. So I've got chives and carrots and beets and peas. I got some arugula, and I think that's it in this bed. Over here to my right is my onion bed, and I've got red, yellow, and white onions growing in here, and these will grow all season. Looking pretty good. Over here I've got my potato bed, and when I first planted these, little tip for you gardeners out there, I only had the soil up to about maybe here when I planted them, and honestly the potatoes that I used, we actually found a bag of potatoes at Aldi that had already sprouted. They'd already gone to seed, so I just threw them in here, and they're going to be dozens and dozens of potatoes. Once they grew up, they started to grow out, then I filled it with 3 more bags of soil, and we should be good to go. I wait until the fall, let these completely die off, and that's when you pull your potatoes. In this bed, I mostly just planted a lot of lettuce. I've got some beans that'll be growing up along this trellis in the back. And at Lowe's, I found some medicinals. So these are spiked speedwell. Oh yeah, verbena. So I'll look into medicinal uses for those. But in the meantime, they'll attract some bees. Here's my tomato bed. Funny thing about this is last year, I had tomatoes in here, and instead of pulling them all out, I just threw them in the soil, covered them up, and tomatoes grew again. So you don't always have to plant new tomatoes. Next year I won't plant any from seed. I did 4 from seed, but I'm not going to do any next year because look what happened. I've already had to thin that like 3 times. In this bed I have all things that I've started from seed. I bought a couple of peppers, but everything else is from seed. This is eggplant, and this is jalapenos and bell peppers, and I got some little carrots growing. There's some kind of weird carrot seed that I got, so they'll be all in the middle. Coming back to the corner over here, this is my asparagus bed. This is first year asparagus, so you let it grow and it'll reseed. You can see little ones all over the place. Looks like a blackberry. So this is a potato from last year. Since my asparagus isn't really fully taken over this bed yet, I let this potato go. And then here's some wood sorrel that I might use. That's medicinal. To most people that's just a weed, but to me it's medicine. In this bed over here is nothing yet. I planted a bunch of seeds. This is going to be all medicinals as well. I had stevia, ashwagandha, what's in this one? I don't even remember now. Chamomile and valeria. So I have some valeria growing already, but this will probably take maybe a couple years until it's like really good. This bed where you see shaded, my bok choy already went to seed, but that's fine. If you can peek over here, you can see I got lots of lettuce growing, and yesterday I had my whole dinner from this little salad bed. All kinds of different lettuces in there. This is my purple coneflower. Last year I planted it from seed, and I said next year we're gonna have big flowers, and there we go, big flowers. So pretty exciting. Maple seeds all over. This right here, you'll see these are on my property as we tour. I do not pull these. This is wild lettuce. It's very medicinal. It's a painkiller. And so all of this stuff, I am not a doctor. I just do my research and I use it. I've been using medicinals for a while now, and for me they work great. So more lavender over there. If you look down, I've got lavender all over the place. And these I'm going to thin out. They smell lovely. These 2 pots right here, I have pole beans growing. And we use some PVC. Shane made a little arch out of it. And as you can see, here they go, climbing up. So they'll go all the way around and meet in the middle, and we will pull beans off and eat them. On this side of the yard, we don't have much yet because we just built this fence. So most of what you see was already here, but I'll talk to you about it as we go around, and over time you're gonna see a huge transformation of this backyard. So right here is my strawberry bed. This is brand new. I got these strawberries from a colleague of mine, and she brought them to work. And I raised my hand higher than everybody. I'll take all the strawberries you got. Here we have an apple tree. I have a feeling this might be crab apples. I have no idea. It was here when we got here. That doesn't look like an apple that's going to grow into anything very big. So we'll see though. It's still pretty. And then we've got our 4 rose bushes. You can see some more wild lettuce, and up here is a grapevine. So last year the Asian beetles ate it all, and this year I am ready. Look at all the little bunches of grapes. Can you see them? It's so funny. They're so teeny tiny. Can you see them on the camera?
Yep.
Those guys. Up here is our peach tree, and guess what? We have peaches! So exciting. So we'll see how they mature as time goes by and how they grow. This is where I'm going to have cucumber long vining things. So I'm going to plant some acorn squash and some cucumber at either end. There's nothing growing there yet, but I do have one thing growing. Zucchini. This is going to be a big zucchini plant. It's looking pretty healthy. Nothing else is growing anywhere. And then along the fence, I planted blackberries inside these little pockets right here. We had no blackberry bush on another part of the property, and we dug it up last year, but you know blackberries, they like to come back and come back and come back. So I just filled those with soil, and then these will grow really tall and go up, 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 and create a little bit of a border for us. So I have some more you can see. But yeah, they'll go all the way along. And over here is the pear tree we just planted. Bartlett pears. So this branch will have to come off, but we just wanted to give it a season, you know. Don't want to shock it too much. Come on, little guy. Here we have the compost bin. As you may have noticed, we have neighbors. We're not off-grid. We're in a little town of 200 people in southwest Missouri, but it's a nice, simple way of life, which we absolutely love. And not a lot of rules, I should say, compared to the suburbs of Chicago where I'm from. So in here is compost. We throw food, soil, lawn waste, sawdust, ashes, anything that it has a biological makeup and will decompose. I dug in there with the rake the other day just to see kind of how it's going underneath, and worms and bugs galore. So that's how you know it's working. So we got a lot of food on top here. We need to cover it. And it doesn't smell at all. Can't smell anything. So that's good news. So funny thing, last year I planted a bunch of mullein seeds. And I planted them all in here, and I must not have planted them deep enough because all my mullein is growing over here. So this is mullein right here, and this is also a medicinal. I use it for anything respiratory related. It's good for allergies and different kinds of things, but I got tons of it. So I have given my husband very specific instructions to not mow here. Yes?
Correct.
Okay. This is lemon balm, and then this is also what some people would call a weed, but it's not. It's called lamb's quarters. You can tell by it's pretty easy to identify. Also medicinal. That's a weed. I'll pull that. Here's some more coneflower, some yellow variety, and I planted this last year. I actually bought this at a nursery, so that's coming up, but that's great. I transplanted one of my mullein from over there to here. See if I can actually fill this in. And then this is mint. Same thing. See how it looks just like the lemon, but mint. You can eat these. Yum. There's a dog. So with mint, you do not have to be careful about how you prune it. You just pull it like a weed because it will come back. I promise you. It will go and go and go. I still am pulling it from down there. So you just pull it like that, as far back as you want, and you will never kill your mint. Look, it's even growing in the grass here. And here in front we have all our lavender, more lavender. So this is ready to be cut. You can burn it and it's aromatic, or you can put it in a tea. You can do lots of things with lavender. Also, it looks pretty. Besides all the things that I've grown myself, there's actually things that are growing naturally. And so there's some sweet violet under the propane tank, which is safe to use. And dandelion and white clover and all kinds of stuff. So you just got to kind of do some research and see what you can get. This lily right here was a gift from my daughter. She bought me one single lily in a little tiny pot one year, and I put it in here, and now look at it, huh? Gorgeous! It's gorgeous. So that's my garden. Thanks for coming along, and as the season goes on, we'll watch it grow. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you next time.